Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome to Nomad Survival, which is, it's gonna be, oh wow, there's actually quite a lot here. Inevitably this game is going to be compared to Vampire Survival. The developer themselves even kind of pitched it as such, as they saw Vampire Survival and wanted to evolve the genre further and try to make it equal parts like very similar to Vampire Survival, but also something entirely new. So I'm curious about that. I don't know, I always love seeing the evolution of a new genre and being there on the ground floor, even if there's a lot of misses. I don't know, I like the, let's see, attack in front of where you're facing, 3 projectiles, knockback. These are interesting. I'm gonna go with the Crusader and Nomad. I'm not even gonna think about pretty much any of this stuff. Normal mode, double EXP mode. Oh, cannot learn achievements in this mode. Interesting. I guess we're gonna stick on normal mode. I probably should have done double EXP mode now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, well, this is familiar, though we have a lot more slots. Also, kind of dig the idea of the double EXP mode as kind of a mode for people that want to play around, as opposed to, oh wait, do I just have a damage aura too? Oh, we start with garlic. Okay, what else do we have? Damage an enemy which bounces to 2 others. Skill amount modifier increases bounces. Spectral sword which mimics your special ability. No knockback. Amount unmodifiable. Occasionally increase your stats for a period of time +5 defense. Wait, miniaturize. Reduce character size. Increase evasion chance. That's actually really fun, but I'm gonna go with the chain light shock. That seems most useful. So we actually start with 2 like rather solid base abilities on top of everything else. Okay, let's see. Defense, magic missile, bullseye, or colorless glyph. Persistent aura that damages all enemies. I'm gonna go with the colorless glyph. I don't know if that synergizes with the one that I already have. Music's pretty good, actually. But yeah, I'm just gonna run into things. Let's see. Purifying Circle. Conjure a massive circle. Enemies that walk into it are repeatedly damaged. Critical damage. Projectile to a random enemy. Bounces in random direction a couple of times. I don't know. Let's go Purifying Circle. Oh, I see. So it's kind of like big holy water. Sort of. I was assuming it would be centered on me, but the answer is no. Either way, I'm going to just act as a human bowling ball for the time being, seeing as I seem to... I seem to do a fair bit of damage to any of these rats, at the very least. I actually rather appreciate how they're animated. Let's see. Immaterial Cloak, Icicle Barrage, or Passive Expansion. Extra size to all skills. That seems really useful. Because I want to make my damage aura huge, if I can. There we go. And it looks like I can grab a ton of these. If that's a good idea, I don't actually think it's necessarily a good idea to stack a ton of them. Let's see, Psychokinesis is probably useful. Fireball, Curious Wisp. I'm gonna go for the Psychokinesis, but we really are gonna want to start leveling some of these up along the way. So, I'm finding this a little bit more interesting. And maybe it's just because I need to go back to playing Vampire Survivors. But I like the fact that everything is animated. It's kind of cute. Let's see. So we can level this up. The one problem is there might be too many items. And so it's going to be kind of hard to level things up. And because we can hold so many, it's a little tougher. So let's go for the colorless glyph. And level that a bit. Because I'd rather actually have some decently high level weapons first before we try and fill out this absolutely nutty amount of space that I have. There we go. This is a nice little horde of rats. Let's see. Prevent a random enemy from moving. Nah. Knockback power. All percentage boost stack additively. Increase stats or projectiles towards the nearest enemy. Let's go with passive bravery. There we go. I think my base character perk might scale with level too, which is kind of nice. Let's see. Item pickup range. Chance for enemies to explode on death, damaging all nearby enemies. That's kind of good. There's also Bullseye. I'm going to keep investing in Psychokinesis for the time being. Let's see. It's extra movement speed, more pickup range, more purifying circle, and max HP. I'm going to keep doing pickup range. Just be lazy. Oh, interesting. Or no. My flying hammers are still the same. One of them just got blocked for whatever reason. There we go. I really like I really like this music. I don't know if it's going to be the same music the entire way through, and you know what? I kind of understand it if it is. So negate enemy attacks, becoming invincible for 11 sec or with an 11-second cooldown. Piercing ray that slowly rotates before disappearing. Roaming weapon that fires piercing projectiles. Amount only modifies arrows. Interesting. Oh, but I got 20 rerolls. So I can just kind of do whatever I want here. Passive duplication. Plus 0 amount skill instances. Next will grant +1 bonus instead of 0. So this is effectively extra projectiles if I wanted to go that direction. Thing is, I don't think I have anything that benefits from that. I don't know. Do we want to grab Bullseye? I'm going to keep rolling this. Keep grabbing Psychokinesis. There's got to be an upper limit to it, right? I mean, maybe. Maybe there isn't. But I seem to be just kind of kicking ass, so I don't know if I need to worry too much yet. Okay, new enemy type. Died pretty easy. But I don't know. I really like watching all the enemies just bounce towards me. Obviously, it's it's kind of meaningless and ultimately doesn't change too much about the game, but it's kind of fun all the same. Is there a way I can check what I have? View relics. No relics acquired yet. Find an open chest to get some. What? Okay, I guess I'm just gonna wander around until I can find chests or something. Ow. Those guys hurt. I don't know if they drop from like mid-bosses or something though, because that seems almost more likely. Okay, that looks... I can't tell if that's a boss or what. Okay, what else do we have? Reduce character size, increase your stats, extra EXP gain. Let's grab that. Okay, so that was not an enemy that dropped a chest. I guess that was just a champ variant. Well, I guess I'll just look around. I don't want to go too far because, you know, my EXP. Though, I mean, who knows? Hopefully... Ah, there's a pot. Hopefully it's kind of like Vampire Survivors where the EXP doesn't just disappear on you. There we go. I'm pretty sure these logs, yeah, they just block movement, they cannot be destroyed. My one problem with venturing out too much is that a lot of enemy spawns end up being behind me, and that's not that helpful. Stamina potion. Weapon skill used at 200 SP. Oh! So the rotating hammer thing happens every 200 SP. That's interesting and makes a lot of sense. I do really appreciate that each character seems to have kind of their own base abilities. So this guy has the damage aura, the garlic, and that scales with level. Crystallized chest has appeared. Oh! Okay, so that's how chests work. Let's see. Extra knockback power, except for I don't actually know how much we knock back. I really appreciate the scaling amount of... Let's see, the scaling amount of rerolls that I can use. Let's see, colorless glyph. Yeah, let's just keep leveling that. Okay, so now it means I don't have to go looking for this thing. It's just here. I'll take it. Might want to look into a healing perk, but I don't entirely know. I think I do heal slowly. It's just not that fast. There we go. Holy shit. This crystal chest is very far away. Either that or I went very far away. Both are possible. There's no real landmarks to tell me where I am in this whole process. Okay. So do I just sit here until it pops open? I guess so. So yeah, there's no way... Oh! Max level fall abilities, passive and non-passive, is 10. That was useful. Okay. The one immediate problem is... I am going to have to be very careful with this chest. Okay. Get extra bounces for the chain light shock. We might want to grab curse, but I think I'm just going to level my lightning. Okay, this chest does not want to die. Or open? Yeah, I am actually starting to take some damage here. This game does have a pretty aggressive looking meta progression. You guys saw that. I'm just gonna try and hit these urns that we have over here for a hot second. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So that solves some of our HP problems. Let's see. Skill duration, instant kill chance, negate enemy attacks. No. SP regen. I'm going to keep working on that purifying circle. I don't actually know if it's good. Or if I should actually be grabbing more abilities. Oh, we have a boss. Oh, we have a boss that I actually have to contend with here. Ow, ow, dying. Oh boy. Okay, so it seems like being the purifying circle man works. As usual, garlic is one of those items that is not actually that useful in the long term. Great early on, not super great elsewhere. I'm gonna see if meta progression wise, if there's anything that I can get that gives me a very small amount of HP regen and probably movement speed in retrospect. Okay. Let's see. Upgrades. What do we have? 98 coins. That's not much. Damage, movement speed, duration, coin bonus. Projectile speed, skill size, cooldown, item pickup, knockback, crit rate. HP regen is there, but it's... Yeah, I can't afford it. Well, in that case... Oh, that's only a 5%. That's not that great. All damage by 7%. I'm going to go for coin gain. And we're going to try another run. So this guy, I'm just going to go back. So he had max SP 200, SP regens over time, weapon skills used. Now that I understand how it works, it makes a lot more sense. 3 projectiles with enhanced knockback power. And also a persistent damaging aura exists. Spectral Sword does not replicate the aura. Okay, there's no way to increase the amount of instances of this skill, with the exception of the Merchant Heritage. What? Okay, this guy has angle slash attack in front of where you're facing, so it's probably the whip. And then blood curse. Curse a random enemy, causing them to explode and die instantly, damaging nearby enemies. Oh, let's give the cultist a shot. Oh, +1 bonus rerolls. Oh, so these are the heritages, of course. Alright. I'm gonna try double EXP mode for the time being. Let's just see what happens. Oh, and this little meter is what determines when my ability goes off. So this guy seems like he'd be a real banger if you invested hard into his SP gain. Spirit of Life regen. Yeah, by default you have nothing. I might want that. Let's just grab that, because the last character had nothing, and having just a little bit of regen is probably going to be really useful. Means I don't have to panic. Okay, damage to all sources, knockback power, let's re-roll. Mimics your special ability, no knockback, amount unmodifiable. I'm going to try the Spectral Sword. Yeah, so it effectively duplicates my bomb. Not only that, it tells me exactly where it's going to be aiming, which is kind of absurd. Let's see, projectile speed? No, we're not doing that. Let's see, Great Divider. Throw a massive sword in the direction you're facing, which pierces all enemies. Yeah, I'm gonna give that a shot. It doesn't... Okay. It doesn't seem like it's gonna be that useful yet, but it'll get there. Let's see, skill size, skill size. Because if we're lucky, that makes this sword better, but also makes the explosion from the blood nuke better. Okay. I really like this. Let's see, bonus damage, tempting. Curious Wisp, rotating orb moves in and out periodically. Tempting. Or Fireball. A Fireball. Because it might not be a bad idea for me to just kind of pick up a bunch of different abilities and see which ones I like. Especially while we're on double EXP. Let's see. I might as well grab the movement speed for the time being. What we really want is the perk that makes it so I gain SP much faster. Because it seems like the blood nuke does an absurd amount of damage. Let's see, skill duration, entangle, extra damage, don't really need that, don't really want any of these. There we go, stamina potion. Plus 1 SP regen per tick and frame. Yeah, so I think that doubles the rate at which the blood nuke goes off. Probably not the most useful at the moment. Hopefully I do get cash off of this. I think I do. So base damage, more regen. Fireball. Stamina potion. Oh, it's not a linear gain. That honestly makes sense. But yeah, let's just invest really hard in blood nuking. Because it seems really effective, especially if I can have like a big AoE explosion to it. I mean, we're already firing it off 2.5 times faster, more or less, than we were earlier, especially with the Spectral Sword. Let's see, Great Divider. Kind of tempting, actually. There we go. Let's see. I want to get the plus 50% speed mode at some point. Icicle Barrage, Lightning Strike. I didn't pick up range, is kind of tempting. I don't actually know what the Spectral Sword upgrade does for me. As far as I can tell, it's probably not useful to upgrade it any further, but I want to see if I can get like another one. You know, see what its levels are. This character is kind of wild. I'm also really curious if there's other locations I can go to. I don't know, do we want to try Energy Wave? Yeah, let's see what Energy Wave looks like. Oh, that's what it looks like. Yeah, that's cool. Get even more EXP gained? Sure, we're already at double, so that's... I don't know, why not? I'm just gonna do whatever. There we go. Let's see. Extra projectile speed. Spectral Sword increases my SP regen even further. Okay. That's absurd. Let's see. So Chain Light Shock, nah. We want to just level up Spectral Sword and the Stamina Potion, like, a lot. Because that seems to be the best way for me to get massive amounts of SP generation to just go bananas here. It does mean this character is going to end up a little bit pigeonholed into, like, one build. Probably. Maybe not always, but it definitely feels like they're going to be like, oh, you're playing this guy? Go SP. Let's see. Skill duration? Nah. Skill size? Yes. Because I'm hoping skill size affects the blood explosion radius. I don't think there's an easy way to test. I would love to be able to mouse over each and every one of these and see, like, nitty-gritty stats. Maybe even when you're selecting one of these upgrades. Maybe. Let's see, item pickup range, extra movement speed. I might want the item pickup range, but let's just continue going for blood explosives and nothing more. Ow. That guy freaking hurts. Contact damage on this game is gnarly. How much HP do I have then? If I took 95 damage and it was only, I guess I must have like 1,000 HP or something. So that 3 HP regen is not great, but also super helpful all the same. There we go. So I could go for Fireball, reduce the cooldown, some other stuff. Kind of tempting, actually. Now, does the sword go off every time my blood nuke does? Yeah, it seems like it's entirely based off of how much SP I have. This is... I don't know. I know it's inevitably going to get a lot of people being like, why should I play this over, like, Vampire Survivors? And the answer is, like, I love it when this happens. When developers... Enemies cannot be damaged by the sword itself. What? Oh, we got a chest here. I'm not sure what that does. The fact that the sword can damage foes. No, it actually just seems to do a ton of damage as it's moving around. That's actually really good. Like, it's kind of chaotic and not particularly easy to control. But credit where credit is due, it does actually, like, do a decent chunk of damage. There we go, chest's open. And we get... Ascension, amount +1 while active. What does that mean? Wait, view relics. So it's a perk. It's a perk for the run, randomly generated, that just gives you something. This is not going away, but there are no more. Well, I mean, it's early access. All these games are. Let's see. Curious Wisp is kind of tempting. Wings for movement speed, kind of. But no, we want stamina potions. Is this like a death zone? Oh. This is actually like an edge to the arena. Huh. I was not aware. Well, that's okay. I'm just going to be firing these blood nukes off left and right, hoping for the best. Ow. Ow. Let's see. Projectile speed, random enemy for moving. Bombs. Extra size on the Great Divider? Sure. I don't really have a specific preference here. I'm just kind of going. Yeah, so the blood nuke doesn't do full damage to the enemies around it. So it's only 99,000 damage to the enemy that it specifically targets, and it's 35 to all the others. So I might actually want to up my damage a little bit, because it's not quite as good as I thought it was going to be. Also, am going to have to pick a character. Maybe the first character. Was that the boss? Let's see. Yeah, the boss has shown up. Unfortunately, I don't know if my blood nuke actually hits the boss. No, I got him. Well, he exploded. Okay, we want to do a little bit more movement speed? Yeah. Yeah, I could use it. Okay, let's scoot through and grab this other chest. And we get... Great Divider, speed doubled. Oh. 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 So if I view relics, I don't know about Ascension, but effectively the Great Divider has been upgraded so it goes a lot faster. So the relics are more like unique skill mods that show up. As opposed to, I was thinking they'd be Dark Shroud approaches. No. I was expecting it to be a little bit closer to... Ooh. There's a lot of foes. Like a Risk of Rain or a Binding of Isaac item. Yeah, more like Binding of Isaac than anything. But the fact that it's like a specific skill mod is still kind of cool. Let's see. Grab this. I gotta go for the item pickup range at this point. I'm actually having trouble getting all of this EXP, and I kind of desperately need it. Okay. Don't want to go for more HP regen. Tempting. Oh, Mirror's Edge. There's a secondary sword behind you. That's... okay, that's huge. I'll do that. Okay, what else do we have? Extra movement speed? Eh. The bow is interesting, and I might want to mess with that. But yeah, let's make the sword bigger. Because the death nukes are good. Like, really good. But I don't know how useful that is in the end. Oh. The music is changing. Unless this is the Dark Shroud. It's the Dark Shroud. Okay, Great Divider, even bigger. Ow, 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 ow. Ow. Let's just do that. Well, I can't really see what's going on. But I appreciate the fact that all of my effects light them up and just wreck them. Let's see. Skill size? Absolutely. Boy, duplicating Spectral Sword was the right way to go here. Or not Spectral Sword, Blood Nuke. It was the right way to go here. Let's see. Do I want to get a bit more regen? Yeah, let's double my regen. Okay. Energy Wave, increase the size. It's tempting, but I want to max out the Great Divider. I do like that wave, though. Just seeing it come through and light the entire area so you can kind of see what's coming at me. That feels so good. Oh, we have a chest. Rad. No. Okay, let's see what we've got up here. Music got dire too. I dig it. Anyway, we have way more EXP for level. I don't know. I'll probably stay on double EXP mode at least until we get the meta progression done. Holy shit, this is far away. I really was just kind of chilling at the very bottom of the level, wasn't I? Oh, there we go. And we get Dancing Dagger speed doubled. Oh, that's not helpful. I wonder if there's a magnet orb. An attract orb in this. I kind of hope so. I haven't seen anything of the sort. Boy, the Great Divider is kind of rad. I super appreciate the fact that it attacks in front of and behind me. Okay, whatever EXP was off screen at this point is lost to me. Only immediate problem is my Blood Nuke actually, is killing a lot of enemies that are kind of far away from me, so I actually have to travel a fair bit to get it. Let's go for the item pickup range. Because yeah, look at all this EXP from all these enemies that are nowhere near me. And it's also very dark. The little, like, undead goo puddles How they're just like pseudopoding their way forward. It's a fun animation. There we go. Darkness begins to fade. Thank you. Let's see. None of these. Spectral sword. Sure. It's a shame I've got a relic for the dancing dagger, and I'm not really too interested in grabbing it. Not in this run, anyway. But yeah, I wonder if this does the Vampire Survivors thing, where the EXP from off-screen is kind of collected into one thing. Well, that's useful. Instant kill chance, bow, some other stuff. Ascension. Oh, I see. Nah. I'm gonna keep doing item pickup range, at least for the time being, because there is quite a lot. Okay, extra movement speed, critical damage. Nah, I'm just gonna keep going for pickup. Because there's so much EXP that's just getting left behind. And I kind of need it. Oops. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. It's fine. Let's see, a little bit more HP regen? Maybe. Big maybe. Wow, the range on my blood nuke is absurd. That hits, like, a whole side. Let's see, bonus damage and size? Absolutely. I'm quite curious about how the Spectral Sword works with some of the other characters. Let's see. Magic Missile. I could keep upgrading Fireball. But no, let's keep getting my pickup range to be huge. That remains probably one of the most useful upgrades you can get in a game like this. There we go. Oh, I wonder if the, in retrospect, I wonder if the Spectral Sword is the huge blood nuke. Now that I'm thinking about it. Because I wonder if it duplicates the effects of my base ability with its modifiers and then adds further modifiers to that. Maybe. Nope, actually just seems like the blood nuke is freaking huge. Alright, works for me. Let's see. Instant death? No. Regen? It's tempting. Go for EXP gain. Even on double EXP mode, I'm starting to feel kind of slow here. Feels like a mid-boss. Okay, ooh. I guess those, the meta progression starting stats really do have, like, quite the effect. Okay, let's grab everything if we can. Yeah, so that's a slime boss. Okay, Spectral Sword, extra damage and size, yes. There we go. Oh yeah, they have more damage than the Great Divider isn't even taking them out. Rough. Okay, I'm just gonna head for that chest and hope it's something amazing. Grab what I can first, though. Oh, we've got bees. Still haven't actually killed the boss, I don't think. Nope. We'll get to that when I get to that. Or something. I might just also die. Ooh, money. We definitely want the money. Yeah, getting some of these meta upgrades will kind of free me. So I don't have to worry about it too much. Ooh. Or I'll just die. Okay, so I seem to have maybe 750, somewhere in there. So 750 to 1000 HP total. And my blood nuke's able to kill like one of these guys. Let's see. Orb, lightning, tick rate. Tempting, yeah. It might not be a bad idea to also invest into defense on these runs. Usually I'm kind of on them, but I am getting clobbered. Oh, there it is. That's the stuff. That's going to be huge. Go for the regen. Energy wave size is so tempting, but I want to level up the Great Divider or expansion. But no, let's level that up. Okay. EXP. No, let's go Spirit of Life. Because I'm going to need some mad regen here if I want to survive. I'm also going to need some movement speed, in retrospect. So let's grab that. Because yeah, if one of these enemies starts touching me, I do start dying. Have I killed the slime boss yet? No, I have not. Okay, well, I'm still not dead yet, which is kind of huge. Let's see. Psychokinesis? Sure. Oh, there's like little demon dudes now. I really keep hoping my blood nuke's gonna hit that chest. And it hasn't yet. Oh. We killed the boss. Let's pop it open. Purifying Circle. Extra duration. Shame. Blade Dance. Throw additional swords to your left and right. Freaking rad. So there might not be evolutions here. In retrospect. But it may not matter. Okay, was that a second thing for the Purifying Circle? View relics. Yeah, rate of attack doubled. Okay, time to start investing in Purifying Circle, I guess. Massive circles. Enemies that walk onto it get damaged. Sure. Because yeah, if my attack rate on these things is doubled, then I should probably get some more of it. It also seems to do just like a gob ton of damage. Okay, well, I'm in a happier space than I was earlier. XP regen boosted. Holy shit. More. Give me more. Yeah, we gotta get my Spectral Sword and my Stamina Potion up further. Because if I can get those up, we're gonna be in a good spot. Let's see. What else do we do? I don't know. See, skill duration is kind of tempting. Sure. I'll level up the circle. The wave is pretty good, and I'd like to mess with that. I think I want to go for a heavy duplicator run. You know, picking only things that I know are going to be affected by it. I'm actually quite curious if the Purifying Circle is affected. Just gonna hit that just in case. Sometimes it gives me goodies. There we go. Dark Shroud approaches again. Let's see. Rotating orb? Nah. Nah. Or movement speed. High Phantomancy. Secondary sword. So now we have triple blood nuke. I'm really curious about what level 10 gets me. Because it seems like this might not have evolving items per se. But it does seem like if you get a thing up to level 9, it just becomes absurd. Or maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I would love to see evolving items all the same, you know, even if it's like, yeah, this is even more absurd. Because already I'm feeling like this is a little bit harder than Vampire Survivors, but I could be wrong. Maybe not. I definitely felt like I was getting clobbered for a bit. Let's see, Psychokinesis. Just keep pushing that, sure. Oh, and we have a crystalline chest. Okay, it's over here. I'm not going to think about grabbing too much. We just want to be near this thing. Because if my blood nuke can pop it open early and we get something good, I'll be a happy camper. Come on. Wow, this thing is very far away. Or, no, there it is. There it is. And we get... Okay, I might have to put a point into that at some point. And to think this is the doubled EXP mode, I can't even imagine how brutal the regular EXP mode is. I was thinking like, oh yeah, fine, I'll put on double EXP mode. We'll just have an easy run and really get used to things. And then the answer is like, no. No. Double EXP mode is the normal mode. And normal mode is the hard mode. Okay, what do we get here? Could go for skill size. Fine. I'll get Psychokinesis. We're just gonna have this guy hang out here. I was hoping that would last a little bit longer, but it's okay. I think my instant death blood nukes also cannot hit the boss, which actually is a bit of a problem for this character. It's mostly fine, but it means that I can only indirectly hit it with the blood nukes. At the same time, maybe that's fine. Just run circles. He'll die eventually. He's not faster than me. Let's see. Purifying Circle. Reduce the cooldown. Increase the base damage. Yeah. I almost would say the massive amount of slots that you can get in this are a bit of a detriment. More than a benefit. Alright, it's dead. Hooray, and we get whatever. It is Entangle, extra duration. It's not helpful. I was expecting the Wave of Darkness to have more of the creepy blobbies, but I guess not. Ow! Wow, those things hurt. I touched it for like half a second and lost like 1/10 of my HP. I'll definitely admit, going for the item pickup range was worth it. Let's see. Extra EXP gain seems kind of late, in my opinion. Now, can I just stand here? Am I safe? No, I'm not. I have to move a little bit. There's just enough of these. Are they like lizard folk? They do look kind of lizard folkish. There's just enough of them coming at me that I have to be concerned. Especially right as the darkness begins to fade. It's usually when it gets diciest. Okay. I definitely am digging the skill size on all of this. Ugh. I might not survive. We will see. Yeah, I'm especially afraid of the mid-bosses touching me. I feel like they could be a problem. At least they do gobs of damage. Why is it always darkest before the dawn? Let's see. Do I get more of this? I'm really trying to max out some things. It seems like level 10 perks are extremely rare, at the very least. Ow? I'm not sure what that red was. Or maybe that was a healing item, actually. This pickup range is absurd. Passive psychokinesis. It's rainbow, but it doesn't actually, like, do anything fancy, from what I can tell. There we go. So, I was trying to talk about it earlier, and got a little distracted by actual gameplay, which is kind of a nice feeling. But the inevitable comments I'm going to get for this being like, it's just a Vampire Survivor clone. And it's like, I mean, this is true. That fundamentally, while this is an attempt at being an evolution of it, it still very much functions as a Vampire Survivors game. It's just a little bit more, maybe interesting, maybe not. It's really hard to tell. I think it's definitely one of those that I'm interested in seeing where this game goes. Because I'm actually really digging the music. I'm hoping it's not copyrighted. Let's see. Just because, like, it's kind of fun to listen to. I'd love to see a greater variety of music in it, just for the sake of, you know, having some variety to listen to, while still keeping kind of this, like, weirdly super upbeat and kind of zany music going. I was hoping my pickup range would be enough. I feel like with the last couple levels, it should almost be just like infinite range. Alright, there goes the chest, and we get immaterial cloak. Bonus spin. Chain light shock. Well, tragically, not really that helpful for me, but that's okay. But it's kind of one of those where I think a lot of these need to push a little bit further somehow. This one's getting there just because the sheer variety of interesting abilities. Yeah, many of them are ones that we've seen before in going for that range. I figure if I can just have my blood nukes hit the entire map over and over and over again, that should just kind of kill everything. Yes? I hope. So I don't necessarily know if this one does enough different to really set it apart, but one of the neat things, for me at least, is that every single one of these games is like $3. So it's kind of one of those where I don't really feel particularly put upon. You know, it's not like, oh, what's a good example? You know, spending $60 for the next Assassin's Creed only to realize that it's just kind of more of the same. Maybe, I don't know. I don't actually know if that's a problem for people. I know it's a problem for me. Come on, give me a level 10. Unless there is no level 10. Because level 0 is the base. So level 9 might actually be maximum. It probably is. Now that I'm thinking about it. That's why it's all rainbow. Well, skill size it is. We'll just grab that. I'll stop wasting my rerolls. I gotta say though, I really appreciate the reroll system in this. that I know Vampire Survivors was starting to get it when I stopped playing, and I should go back and add more, but the fact that this has its baseline, you know, learning from others' example and not only iterating but improving on the formula, it's how you get better and better games. And I know people like to, I'm actually just going to get mobbed by frogs. Extra skill size, oh, looks like there's just a little bit of a gap there. Whew, that was a shit ton of frogs. I know people tend to be very, like, protective of originality, but I also need to point out that Vampire Survivors was not actually the first Vampire Survivors. That there's a game called Magic Survival on mobile that is Vampire Survivors. Let's go for the regen. We're going to be taking some damage here. I don't know how often I'm going to get, like, hyper mobs like that. But it's going to be often enough that it's going to be a problem. I probably should invest in some of these other things. Let's keep investing in Purifying Circle. Let's see. But so, like, I noticed people get very protective of Vampire Survivors for weird reasons. It kind of reminds me of, like, back when people would argue heavily against, like, Terraria. And interestingly enough, I'm going to have another kind of clone game coming out this today or tomorrow. Maybe even today. I've got to figure out my scheduling. I am going to get mobbed by frogs again, and that's terrifying. I could try Hail Marrying for Cascade Curse Explosions. I don't know how much damage it does. But these enemies are dense enough that at this point it's kind of worth it. And I probably should have invested in it a while ago. It just wasn't particularly necessary. Ooh. Those red frogs are brutal. I'm gonna keep my distance. I don't really have any kind of guided fighting. Let's see. Do we just do a ascension and see what happens? I'll grab it. Because it seems to boost the amount of swords that I'm putting out. Oh! Okay, so Great Divide can be duplicated. So I should have invested maybe into the duplicator. Maybe. Powerful creatures approaching. You mean like more frogs? Okay. Yeah, shield, immaterial cloak. Oh. Wow, Ascension is actually really good. I should have invested further into that. Because, yeah, it gives me HP and SP when it's active as well, which is kind of huge. Okay, where's this powerful creature? Where are you? Where are you, foe? Unless it just shows up at the 30-minute mark and kills me. Because we're definitely seeing a bit of a dearth of frogs here. Goal, defeat the boss. Yeah, here's the problem. This character is not functional. Oh god, it is a frog. It's just the worst kind of frog. Ow. Wish it had a health bar. But yeah, unfortunately my whole curse thing doesn't really help me against this sucker. So like this character is kind of fun from a can absolutely demolish groups of enemies thing. Kind of useless against actual boss fights though. I'll keep that in mind. Let's see, EXP is worthless at this point. I don't know, do I want to just do Magic Missile? Wow, that's worthless. I was hoping it would do you know, have some range to it or something. I mean, it does actually hit it sometimes. It's not that bad. We have enough regen that this guy isn't necessarily a problem. As long as I don't let him touch me, I think we're okay. Luckily, my phantom swords actually do a decent chunk. There we go. I also appreciate that it's not just the Grim Reaper that comes out of nowhere to kill you. I don't know. Clearly I need to do another round of Vampire Survivors or 3. Just to see how far that game has come. Because I know it's getting like really rapid weekly updates. I think the big problem I was running into is that it was kind of repetitive. And I mean, I'm sure some of you guys saw it, that if I'm playing a game that I'm hyper comfortable with, I start talking about other stuff, which is fine, but like the problem is I still am not exactly in a position where I have a whole lot going on in my life. It's pretty much just, wow, house hunting sucks. And the world is not in a very pretty state. And so there's kind of aspects of that that just leak back in. And, you know, to some degree, like, I don't apologize for that too much. But it's also one of those where it would be very nice to not hyper-fixate on things that make me grumpy. Okay. Holy shit, how much HP does it have? Like, I'm gonna kill it. It's just, with an HP bar this big, I would like to be able to see it. I would like to know how close it is to death. Because as it stands, that took a while. 3 minutes. Okay, it didn't take that long. Okay. Top 5 skills, DPS. So Spectral Sword by and far. But that's because it was... Oh no! It was doing more damage than my Blood Curse. Second generation Nomad, unstoppable for 33 minutes in the dry marsh. So there should be other maps then. So if we take a look. I don't know, these might just not be in the game yet. We have the Adventurer. We still have Nomad again. Select a level. Oh, dry marsh, dry marsh. And these are locked. Interesting. Yeah, we can make it faster. I'm curious if that affects the clock. Odds of your bonus spin by up to 50%. Odds of enemies dropping rare items by 5%. That's actually really good. So I don't have that many coins. Let's reset upgrades. I mean, honestly, it seems like it's in my best interest to level each and every one of these things at least once. Probably. And then we have just enough HP regen. Let's see, we have enough HP regen just to keep Hail, especially early on. And SP regen to double the amount of weapon attacks. At least on the character. Okay, unlocks. Oh. But we don't have any of the achievements. Oh gosh, that's gonna be rough. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to do some non-double EXP runs just to see if I can do that. I'll probably try the Adventurer next, see if they're any good. The Cultist was kind of neat. I appreciated their setup. I don't know if I'd spec for it again, especially because the Spectral Sword, great as the damage was, I needed it for bosses. Well, kind of. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, I love this a lot. This is a ton of fun. The music is good. And yes, while it is very much a Vampire Survivors clone, it still feels like it's different enough that it's worth my time. Musically, artistically, I mean, it looks like there's a whole bunch of creatures that I haven't even seen before, too. So I'm quite curious. Plus, I mean, there's 4 more characters that I haven't unlocked yet, and a whole bunch of different abilities I haven't even messed with, because I feel like a heavy duplicator run could get really nutty. I don't know. Anyway, so last thing, of course, is that Nomad Survival is available on Steam for $3, which is an absurdly low price, as is his predecessor. And so it's kind of one of those that if you like Vampire Survivors, you're probably going to like this game. And honestly, I'd say play both kind of in parallel. Both seem to be developing fairly rapidly. I haven't seen how many patches. Minor update 3. Hopefully it goes kind of quickly and we get a lot of interesting items, bug fixes, and new features just to keep competitive, at least. Anyway, with all that said, if you guys like this video in any way, shape, or form, leave me a like, helps more than you know. And if you want to see more rad new indie games every single day, then hit subscribe, because I got tons of them to check out. But for now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.